What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Darkmysticocean. I am so excited about this video because, as promised on my Instagram page, today I'm going to be starting a brand new series on teaching free of charge the basics of Lenormand card reading. Now, those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Kermis. I am a tarot card reader. I'm a Vedic astrologer. Drop me an email, drop me a DM, message me, follow me on Instagram to book a consultation, blah, 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 all of that, all right? If you wish to learn, you can head to my website and buy the courses, recorded courses from there as well. Now, coming back to the most important point, we are starting a series today in which I will talk about Lenormand. And by talk, I mean literally teach you baby steps right from the basics to certain spreads in the Lenormand, which are known as the classical spreads of Lenormand, line of 3, line of 5, etc. If you have always wanted to learn the Lenormand and you've been waiting for something like this, then this is your lucky day because this is class 101 of Lenormand, all right? Just a little bit of background. Lenormand is a very old divinatory tool. It is a deck of 36 cards. Please Google it. You can buy it from Amazon. You can buy it from any other place as well. And the best part about Lenormand is that you don't have to start from any particular deck. You can pretty much pick up any deck as long as it is 36 cards and start your journey on Lenormand. All right. It is a card deck, which means you need to know the meanings, you need to know the techniques of how to join the cards and give a prediction. And yes, it can give predictions. In fact, the predictions which one gets from the Lenormand are very straightforward, to the point, and something that, trust me, will amaze you. All right. So if you're a tarot card reader, learning the Lenormand is an absolute bonus. All right. It's fun, it's interesting, it's extremely different from the tarot. So it's a beautiful setup to have. And if you're new to divination, if you're new to card reading, then also Lenormand is a great place to start because it is so easy and simple, yet so amazing, and the answers you get are crisp, to the point, and will not let you down. So without wasting any more time, let's start with our first lesson today in Lenormand, wherein I will try to cover the meanings of the cards. All right, so I'm not sure if I can get through all the 36 cards in today's lesson, but I'll at least try and do 10 or 12 or 15 of them. So let's begin. I will see you on the drawing board. Hello, everybody. So welcome to the drawing board. This is where the magic will happen. All right. So once again, we are commencing our journey of learning the Lenormand through my videos on my YouTube channel. So please like and subscribe to my channel right away if you want to keep getting notifications as well. We are going to cover the meanings of the cards today from the first card, card number 1, which is called as the Rider, all the way to card number 12, which I believe is the Birds card. All right. So Lenormand is very different from the tarot. You do not need to go into too much detail, specifics in terms of the symbology, in terms of what exactly is kind of happening on the card. You pretty much need to just remember the meanings of the name of the card. Once you have the meaning in your head, you can pretty much draw anything as long as it makes sense and call that your Lenormand deck as well. For today's video, I am going to be using the very, very pretty Fairy Tale Lenormand deck. It's one of my most favorite decks. It is a small, compact, almost pocket-size friendly deck. And this is what I will be using today to show you all the meanings of cards 1 to 12. All right, so let's begin. We will start with the meanings and then proceed to the techniques and then proceed to the spread. So that's, as of now, that's what I've thought about. That's the flow we will go with. If I think there needs to be some kind of change, I will just make that happen and you will have to deal with that. Okay. So, okay, let's start with the first card, which is always the first card in the Lenormand. Oh, by the way, there are 36 cards in the Lenormand deck. All right. So make sure it's always 36. And the reason I'm saying this is because there are certain decks out there which include more cards with different kind of meanings. Avoid those in the beginning. You can purchase them later on once you are thorough, once you are through, once you think you are good enough, efficient with the classic Lenormand deck. All right. You might also find extra cards related to the significator, just like this deck has. You have a lady card, all right, which pretty much represents you, who's the lady. So if you're a girl, this represents you. If you are a man, then this represents you. So they've given an extra bunch of the lady and gentleman card. This is extra, so I already have these two in the deck, but this is extra, which is normal for a deck to have. So this is fine. All right, I'm talking about other extra cards which Lenormand decks do have. Avoid those in the beginning. Okay, so with that done, that's out of the way, we will start with our first card, the Rider. Okay, now look at the card. It's called Rider, and you will see 9 of Hearts over there. Now the Lenormand card deck, Lenormand cards do have a connection with cartomancy, but we're not getting into that aspect. Also, you do not need to know cartomancy. You do not need to know how to divine through the playing cards deck to learn Lenormand. If you do, it's an extra help. It's a bonus, but in no way are you supposed to know the 9 of Hearts for sure. In order to learn how to read the Lenormand, you just need to learn the meanings of the Lenormand cards. All right. So the first card, card number 1, as it says, is the Rider. Now, what does the Rider signify? The Rider talks about, the first thing which should come to your mind is messages. All right. News. Some kind of news is incoming. All right. As you can see, the Rider is on a horse. That means he's on his way. He's making a journey. There is travel involved, there is communication happening because he arrives with a message. And generally speaking, this is a good message. Generally speaking, this is a fortunate card. So if you are doing one card readings, which I do not propagate, if you do a one card reading, then this is a yes card, and it generally talks about good events which are about to happen. Another thing you need to remember with Rider is fast action, fast movement, quick fire thoughts, quick fire thinking. So this is a card which brings along with it really fast moving energy, really quick thinking, words and actions which kind of speed up events in general which kind of speed up. So whatever the question is about, if it ends with the Rider card, the spread which you're doing ends with the Rider card, then it would definitely mean that this will happen faster than what you expect. Okay, so news, communication, information, good news, specifically good news coming to you. Another meaning of the Rider card can also mean a man entering your life. Now, this is specific, obviously, if you're a woman who's looking for a relationship, a straight relationship, then this definitely is an indication that yes, somebody with an interest in you, especially a physical interest, all right, which is physical attraction, how it begins generally, will arrive soon into your life. So this is the indication of a dating phase, of meeting someone, not an indication for marriage. All right, so please remember that point very, very well. I hope you people are making notes. Okay, if not, you can keep watching this video again and again, which would help me a lot, and of course it would help you as well, because what happens is I speak very fast and a lot of information goes up in a couple of seconds. So you definitely need to slow the speed down if you wish to get all the details that I have said. All right. So yes, this can even represent a man, specifically a man with who has intentions of love from his heart. All right. Other than that, this can also pretty much be a normal friend who kind of helps you, who guides you, who generally speaking has good intentions at heart, all right, has your best interest at heart. So yeah, this is what Rider is. It can even represent things like written communication, a message coming to you, an SMS, an email, something really fast. So it would actually mean like a WhatsApp message or a DM, something like that, something which happens really fast. This is what Rider generally means. It also can talk about exercising and movement, all right? So travel is another important meaning of this card, okay? Travel, movement, action, energy, dynamic action, speed, and good news are the key key meanings of the Rider card. Okay, so that's Rider. Now we move on to card number 2. Oops, that's card 12. We move on to card number 2, which is the Clover. So, Clover. Now, Clover, if you have heard about folk tales, or if you are into any kind of practice of the occult, you would know that clover, which is basically a small flower or a plant, is a symbol of good luck. All right, especially the four-leafed clover symbolizes good luck. It is said to provide good luck and give good luck to those who grow it, to those who wear it, to those who keep it with them, right? So even in the Lenormand, the clover card is a card of luck. But the key thing to remember with clover is the word small or tiny or little. So it's small luck, tiny luck, little luck, all right? Little joys of life, the small things of life which bring happiness. This card can also represent new beginnings and starts. So this can show the beginning of a relationship, this can show the beginning of a new job, something which provides you comfort and yet at the same time has just about started. So, luck, something which is an opportunity, which you can count as an opportunity. Even making small investments, all right, your money growing in a small way but steady and positive way is the clover. It symbolizes good luck as well. So I'm not going to say you're going to win a big lottery, but definitely things will fall in a very nice, pleasant way. Uh, they will fall that way for you, all right, with whatever you're asking about. This card can also represent nervousness. So it can show somebody who's nervous. It can show somebody who's very shy, all right? I mean, think about somebody who's like very little, like a dwarf, like just like what the picture is showing you, like a small little, not even a dwarf. This is like, I don't know, like a small fairy. You know, if you remember the fairy tale Thumbelina, this, I think they're trying to show Thumbelina. Okay, the small fairy who's like the size of your thumb. So think of that kind of a creature. How would she or he be? Shy, nervous, into the good things of life, etc. This card can also talk about seclusion, so going about into your own space, but for good things. Now, always remember Lenormand cards are read in pairs, so you never just read one card on its own. It's always another card will always be next to it, and that card will give you much more detailing about the other card as well. So this can be, generally speaking, on its own, it's a good card. But if it comes with negative cards, then this can show a hindrance to growth in life as well. Okay. This also shows things which are fleeting in nature. So things which come and go really, really quickly. So this can unfortunately show things like a very relationship which started but it gets over within a month or two. Yes, it can show things like one night stands, an unexpected flirt, or a visitor that comes to visit you. Unexpected. Unexpected is another word. Rapidly falling in love, quickly falling in love is another trait of the clover as well. So, a lot of meanings that you can kind of think about. The beauty with Lenormand is it gives you the scope of using your imagination, but stick to the base principle, all right? Remember, clover means little, tiny, fleeting, something small, and good luck as well. But not very big luck, really tiny, good luck, all right? So even if the stock market is doing well, you will definitely get the benefit from that, but your profit will be just a little bit. It'll be there, but it'll be a little bit. That's what it means. When it comes to timing, just like the rider card, even the clover card talks about things happening a little fast. It could be a few days, it could be a few weeks. However, this isn't the way you time an event. I will be showing you all how to time events with the Lenormand, hopefully in the spreads section. So stick around for all the videos. Yes, so generally speaking, luck coming to you, fleeting luck as well. It can even show gambling. So create like doing a small gamble, entering a game which is kind of like a gamble, that sort of an energy is what the clover card means. And of course, very importantly, it means new beginnings, all right? So that is clover. Hope you guys have understood that. Next card Card number 3, we have ship. Now, when you see a ship, what do you think about? You think about travel, you think about faraway lands, you think about people on a journey. So, all these meanings definitely will come to pass with ship being there, all right? So, ship talks about longing in the Lenormand. This is a very specific meaning which comes from the Lenormand cards, which is connected to this card, the ship. Longing, all right? Really waiting for something to happen, waiting for someone to walk into your life, waiting for the one, somebody who you think about, somebody who you pine for, right? Somebody who makes you stay awake at night. The longing is denoted by the ship. The energy of the emotion, the essence of the emotion is denoted by the ship. All right. Other than that, it talks about faraway lands, it can show foreign travel, it can show trade, it even shows higher studies. So, going to a different country to pursue your studies can be predicted with the ship card. Things like exploitation, things like research, all right, getting into detail is what the ship card can also talk about. It also talks about people arriving. So if you're expecting people to drop in, then this is your card. Remember one thing, Lenormand is very, very literal. All right. So it literally can show you things which are happening right around. All right. So ship can also indicate a car because that's what you use nowadays for travel. It can indicate an aeroplane as well because that is how you travel to foreign lands. I don't think many people use a ship, but you get the idea, right? So something moving forward, something a journey about to begin or a journey that begins is what ship can indicate. Circumstances that change but will change slowly, all right, that the timing of the ship is not very fast, it's not very quick like the rider or the clover, it's a slow energy, it's a slow movement. Overall, if I have to give this card an energy as good or bad, then this would be neutral. This is neither good nor is it bad. So the cards around really need to be examined. The cards around really need to be checked to finally understand if ship is giving you a good result or not. So traveling, longing, commerce, all right, can be predicted with the ship card. In general, you can say a couple of months is what the ship would indicate. People arriving from different countries, trading with different countries, import, export, foreign travel, foreign trade. Yeah, this is what the ship can represent. So I hope, and longing, very important, longing, pining, all right, is what the ship talks about. Okay, next card we have the house. Oh, look at that. Such a pretty house. I mean, this, I see this everywhere. I mean, I live in England, so I see these houses literally everywhere and they really look dreamy, all right? So, just sharing my thoughts. Okay, that's the house. Okay, so the house is exactly what you think. It's a place of comfort. It talks about stability. It talks about happiness. It can show a person's family. It can show your very close environment, what you deal with every day. So it can even be your workplace where you go to every day because that is a space you occupy every day. So something happening within your home and even something happening at your workspace can be denoted by the house card. Domestic issues, things related to your heart, things related to emotions, even things related to physical health. So, physical health is another top meaning of this card, and this is one of the key traits of Lenormand. All right. So, when you check somebody's health, this is the card that is actually pulled out. It is said to be like the skeleton of your body. So, the house card represents things related to your health. Okay, so it's where you live, it could be an apartment, it could be a house, it also represents your family, or it could even represent your very, very close friend circle. It connects to that which is domestic, it can represent roommates, etc. etc. Okay, another thing the home or house can talk about is things which have a deep rooted connection with your family. So projects or situations that are connected to your ancestry. the question you're asking about could be connected to your lineage, could be connected to your grandparents, something that is deeply connected to your house, all right? House can also talk about a father figure. As you see, the card here is King, or the cartomancy card it is connected to is King of Hearts. So this card can be used as the significator of a mature man, an older man in your life as well. Generally the father, okay? Somebody who has authority. It can even be used as the husband significator, but not generally it is not, all right? So overall, the energy of this card once again is neutral, but I would call it neutral to good. So it's a little more neutral to good, especially if the cards around are decent or just good, then this definitely indicates a good outcome overall. Security, long-term partnership, marriage can be predicted with the house card. Somewhere where you feel safe, somewhere where things are familiar, calm, and safe is the house card, all right? So that's the house card. Next card, you have the tree, all right? A little bit similar to the house card, not too much, but yes, similarities are there. Now, what does a tree represent? In your mind, when you look at a tree, any tree, what do you think of? Right, you think of roots, you think of, something that's been standing there since years and ages, right? So that's exactly what the tree represents in the Lenormand as well. And this card specifically is taken out for health. House is taken out for the body, like external wounds, but the tree card is specifically examined when you want to judge proper health. Like if somebody has a disease, if somebody's going to fall sick, the tree card is what is looked into. So your life, your roots, calm energy, all right? Something which has been connected to you from a long time. Now this can be a couple of years. This can even talk about your past life, but that's not something I really go into. But yes, one of the textbook meanings of this card is past life connections, all right? But that is not something you should pay attention to. It definitely just talks about things you're deeply connected to. It could even represent a relationship that you have had since that has spanned more than 5 or 6 years, all right? So that's the tree. It can even show things related to boredom. So you're getting bored in life, or not quite satisfied with things that are happening around you, because the tree takes a very long time to grow, right? Once it's reached maturity, peak, then for it to grow, it's really slow. So the timing also of this card is slow moving energy. It can be taken as a very spiritual card. It can represent divine consciousness. It can represent you being connected to the energy of Mother Earth, a time of rest, a time of relaxation. All right. The advice of this card would be not to make haste, because haste makes waste. Okay. It can talk about a strong karmic relationship, karmic themes in life. All right. If it is flanked with negative cards, then it can show bad health, bad habits, getting involved with the wrong people, making wrong decisions. All of this can be seen if there are bad cards around this card. So overall, this is a very, again, highly neutral card. A very slow energy, so things will slow down. The event will happen if the cards around are positive, but it will come to you with some kind of a delay. All right. And health, yes, health. Ancestry is another key important meaning of this card. So things related to your lineage, things related to your ancestors, like think on the terms of family tree, right? Things related to tradition, your customs, all these things can be represented by the tree. It's a very slow, it's a very enduring energy. It can also represent an actual tree next to your house, all right? That is how literal it can get. So that is tree from the Lenormand. After that, card number 6 is clouds. Okay, now we get into the dual part of Lenormand. So we have the clouds. Now, if you look at this card, you see there is one portion with a white cloud and there is one portion with a dark or a black cloud. The reason behind this is if a card falls on this side, on the black side, this represents things which are hidden. This represents that whatever this card means, which card falls here, will be kept hidden from you, or things related to that card will be kept muddled. So, for example, if you have the tree card here, this can show bad health because tree represents health and it's right next to the black clouds. So, something regarding your health is hidden from you, something that could be going wrong is not yet coming into view. And the reason why I'm saying something going wrong is because this part of the clouds card, the black part, represents sadness, gloominess, confusions, doubts, being unclear in the head, muddled up thoughts, all right? So you could even be just depressed about the way you look or the way your health is if this is the combination of the cards, okay? So putting that back, not getting into combinations right now. So that is the clouds. And if a card falls here, I'm sure you guys have understood, this means things which will now come into view. You will now have a better understanding of this particular card, whatever falls on this side, because the white cloud is here, all right? But in general, if you are not paying attention to the directions, then clouds talk about confusion, things being hidden, being unclear, being undecided. It can literally show depressing weather, cloudy weather, a rainstorm on its way. With regards to timing, this card is neutral, so it can be fast or slow, depends on the cards around. And in general, this is considered a negative card because, like I mentioned, clouds kind of makes you confused and kind of shields things from you, hides things from you, which we don't want, right? So, lack of clarity, not making a decision on time, all these are the classic meanings of the clouds card. Anything else? Yes, lack of perspective, difficulties in life. All right. Problematic sleeping patterns is also another important meaning of this card. Not being aware of your situation around you, definitely not the best card to see in a love reading because it could, I'm not saying it will, but it could indicate that your partner or whoever you're in a relationship with is hiding things from you. Things are going on in the background and not coming to light as of yet. That is what the clouds represent. So definitely a negative card in general, generally speaking. All right, that's 6. Okay, now we go on to the real villain, all right, of the Lenormand deck. Card number 7, the snake. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful artwork, all right. Card number 7, the snake. Right. Whatever you can think of the snake would mean, it would pretty much mean that, yes, it is a card of deceit. Yes, it is a card of cheating. Yes, it is a card of seduction, all right? You probably didn't know that meaning. It is a card of seduction. In fact, this card is taken as the other lady, the other woman. So if there is a situation where the client is absolutely aware that their spouse is cheating on them, specifically if your client is a lady and she knows that her husband is cheating on her, she's very aware about that fact, she's caught him red-handed, whatever, then this card can be used as the other woman to kind of have an understanding of what is happening with respect to her and the husband's life, all right? So that's card number 7, the snake. It also talks about entanglement, so getting entangled. So what does an entangled mean? Think about a rubber band which gets entangled and you kind of have to undo it. So that would take a long time. So even things related to the snake take a little bit of extra time than needed. I'm not going to say long, but things you'll have to take a little bit more time. So imagine you were traveling and all of a sudden the road which you have to take to your destination is blocked. And now you have to take a detour. That is the snake, all right? So when it comes up in travel, it can actually show a detour. It can actually show roadblocks. All of a sudden, you'll have to search for another way out. Obstacles in your path is what snake would represent. Other than that, it can show lies, all right? Somebody who's not being true to you. On a good note, the snake card also talks about intelligence. On a good note, the snake card also talks about having occult intelligence. So, knowing things related to magic, witchcraft in a good way can be represented by the snake. Of course, if it is surrounded by negative cards, then the person can be using that knowledge for negative things as destroying someone's life as well, all right? So, in general, it's a card of very high level intelligence as well. Like I mentioned, this generally represents another woman. seduction, deceit are the key meanings of this card. If there's anything else I can remember with the snake card. Yes, the snake card is quite heavily connected to its number for some reason. So the number 7 is there. I did not mention it for any other card, but for this card, it is written in a lot of books that it can talk about time periods related to 1 week, which is 7 days. It can talk about 7 weeks, the seventh day of the month, but that's too literal. We don't go reading time that way. In general, the snake card represents trouble, betrayal, somebody who's being a hypocrite, like shows you something but behaves like something else. So lies basically, all right. So that is what the snake talks about. And wherever it faces, there is a problem over there, all right. So the card here would be in trouble because the snake is facing this way. Lenormand definitely considers directions very, very strongly. Not as strong as Kipper, if you know what Kipper cards are. But yes, fairly enough, directions are very important in Lenormand as well. That's card number 7. Then we go on to a very depressing card, which is card number 8, the Coffin. And yes, Coffin means all things which are negative. Coffin basically talks about endings, all right? So things which have come to an end, a relationship that has ended, a job which is really not going anywhere. So you probably have to kind of bring it to an end and search for a new job. So things which are, I'm not going to say death, but yeah, things which die a natural death in terms of longevity. So end of a job, end of a relationship, things like that can be represented by the coffin. Another very important meaning of the coffin is ill health. So if this is paired with the tree card, now this is a serious health issue, all right? So preferably, hopefully that combination shouldn't come out. But coffin represents diseases, illnesses, all right? Things which are ending. It can even show things which are hidden, pretty like similar to the clouds, but not in a negative way. Like it's just hidden. It's not confusing you. It's just not coming to view. With clouds, what happens is it's hidden and it's confusing you. You'll make wrong choices. Over here, you just have to kind of wait it out and wait for the light to kind of fall. Other than that, it can show things like being trapped, being boxed up. It can literally show a box, so a jewelry box, something which is square or rectangle in nature. This is very helpful when you're searching for lost objects. So Lenormand is such an amazing tool for that as well, if done correctly, all right. So that's pretty much what I have for coffin. There's nothing else you can actually talk about. The timing of the card is very slow, all right. Coffin also slows things down to quite an extent. End of relationships, of course, saying farewell to somebody. Spiritual growth can be signified by the coffin if the cards around are supportive, all right. So that's a good meaning with regards to coffin, okay. So that's card number 8, coffin, which talks about endings, all right. Card number 9. Okay. Card number 9 is a very nice card. As you can see, you have a bouquet. What is a bouquet? A bouquet is a mixture of beautiful flowers which emanate lovely fragrance, all right, which makes the atmosphere around charged up and positive. So definitely a very positive card. The bouquet talks about joy, happiness, receiving a gift. Like when do you give a bouquet to somebody? When there is an occasion of celebration, could be somebody's birthday, could be somebody's wedding. So it can even show marriage. It can show blooming of a relationship. It can show attraction, falling in love, happy days, romance, holidays, joy, satisfaction, creativity. All right. So all good things like harmony, getting engaged. All right. Wherever you need, wherever there is a call for giving somebody a bouquet is what this card would represent. This card can also be used as a significator of for your sister, friend, basically another woman. It's got the Queen of Spades here. So basically another woman in general, generally speaking. Is it Queen of Spades? Yeah, I think Queen of Clubs basically. So yes, good card. The timing is as and when you want things to happen. So it's a very nice card. It shows a positive outcome. It is what is considered to be a yes card. But preferably do not do yes no readings. But if you were doing yes no readings for some reason, then definitely this is a positive yes card. It is a card that expresses happiness. It is a card that can even show a gift, like an actual gift being given to you. um, Positive thoughts, positive vibes. Overall, very, very positive card. It can show the springtime, right? Because of the flowers, the blooming of flowers. So as a timing, you can take this card as spring. So that would be March, April, late February, right? So that's the bouquet card. Good card overall. Then we have card number 10. Oops, another negative card. The Scythe, right? As you can see. Now, what does this card mean? This card, you need to pay attention to the directions, because wherever the scythe points to, the tip points to, that is what will endure the pain. That is what will be wounded, will be hurt, all right? So if there's a card here, it's in trouble. If there's a card here, it's pretty much neutral. So the Scythe card talks about a cut, an accident. It can show things like getting a surgery done. Any kind of sharp object that pierces you and hurts you. Now you can take this literally. You could like get a cut with a scissor or a knife, or it can even show things like being hurt by someone's words, or being hurt by somebody's actions and feelings, a cut in the relationship, a cut in your friendship, a cut in your payslip, a cut in your job, all right? Whatever comes here will take the hit. All right. So if let's assume bouquet was here, then this is a cut in the happiness. So happiness is coming to you, but it'll be cut, sliced up at like 50% happiness. That's what it means, okay? Or a danger. It can even show things like something being in danger. So this is one of the key words of Scythe actually, or warning or a danger. Other than that, it can show things which happen all of a sudden, surprising events, unexpected events, but generally speaking, negative. It's not a good surprise like Clover. This is generally speaking a negative surprise, or all of a sudden you hear some bad news that can also be shown by the Scythe. So it is a sharp card, it is a card that cuts, separates, etc. Sometimes it is taken as the card that falls on this side is getting harvested. That means it gets collected. That means that result comes to you. So hopefully that should be a good card as well. Okay. Abrupt things ending abruptly, all of a sudden. Very in terms of movement, action, and energy, it's similar to the Tower card. Like all of a sudden it just ends. This is what the Scythe card would give you. Look at the surrounding cards to really understand what you need to pay attention to. The message of this card is what you reap is what you will sow. Okay. Sorry, what you sow, so shall you reap. Oops. This is what the card means. So, a dangerous card, definitely a negative card. You need to be careful. Like, for example, if it gets paired with, let's say, the ship. So, this would mean cancellation of your journey, right? A journey is cancelled, or it's a warning, do not travel, dangerous trip. Things can go wrong on that trip. So, pay attention wherever this card is, all right? That is the Scythe. Then we come to card number 11, which is the Whip. Now, at first glance, when you hear the word whip, you would think about something negative, generally speaking. But interestingly, in the Lenormand, the whip card is not a negative card. It can create problems because at the end of the day, yes, it is a whip, and a whip is an instrument which you use to, kind of lash at an animal. Or if it would lash at you, you would really get hurt, right? So, yes, in that context, you can say it is negative. But if you think about the meanings that they've given traditionally, it's not really that bad. The whip basically means conversation, talking, all right? And the energy of that conversation, the energy of that talk is repetitive in nature. So things which repeat, like, when a song goes on a repeat loop mode in your head, that is the whip energy. Things happening again in a very repetitive motion. All right, repetitive motion, that is the whip. Interestingly, the whip card can also show sexual intimacy. That is one of the predictive meanings of the card, so I have to say it. The whip card in some decks is also known as the broom card, so don't get confused. Remember, the number 11 is what I'm talking about. It can show things like being criticized, criticism, aggression, getting angry, losing your temper, getting into conflicts, arguments, anywhere where you run your mouth, all right? Anywhere where you run your tongue, where you run your mouth, things get really heated up in a negative way when you're fighting, right? That is the whip. Like things which happen on the road, right? And an accident takes place and both the people get down of their car and start arguing. This is a whip moment, right? This is the whip. Now, depending on cards around, things can take a U-turn. It can even show just having very important, heated, passionate discussions. It can show things like that as well. It also shows athletic activities, athletic movement. So exercising, hitting the gym, running, working out is another predictive, an actual predictive meaning of the whip card. So if it comes out, it can show your client is ready to exercise, your client is ready to lose that extra weight they have. Sometimes it can show self-punishment, like putting yourself through self-punishment, not by hitting yourself, but just by being hard on yourself, all right? Yes, so this is what whip can mean. Reckless behavior is another meaning of the whip card, generally speaking, all right? So that is what the whip means. Energy is fast, so you'll get the result also fast with this card. It's a very bold, daring card, okay? So the energy is fast. That's the whip. And the last card for today, like I had said, we are doing meanings only till card number 12 is the birds. Look how pretty. Right. Birds talk about tweet, 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 tweet. All right, like tweeting. Literally, also, it can show the Twitter app. Like basically messaging, communicating, talking about, things happening around you, gossiping, connecting with a friend, connecting with a partner, and talking about your day-to-day events, messaging somebody, texting your friend, texting your husband, whatever. This is a message which is being delivered to you. Other than that, this card shows chatter, gossip, meetings, getting into meetings, an interview, anywhere where there is a pair involved, because there are two birds, generally speaking. So anywhere where there is a pair involved is what the birds card can represent. Okay, so you can take that quite literally as well. It is a neutral card, so the cards around would kind of finely shade it. So yes, basically it's all about talking, chatting, messages, negotiations. Um, this can even show like going to a counselor, discussing your problems, things like that. Communication, but not written specifically, but digital, yes. Digital written communication, yes, but not specifically letter writing as such. Other than that, this card can also show nervousness, similar to, I think, the Clover card. And this card can show, uneasiness, nervousness, sense of worry, a sense of anxiety, just like how birds behave, right? Like they're always kind of worried to be around human beings. So that's what the energy would carry as well. That's card number 12 of the Lenormand. I hope y'all have enjoyed this class, which is class number 1 of the meanings of the Lenormand cards. Buy a Lenormand deck. Remember, it can be any deck. I'm using the Fairy Tale Lenormand deck. You can buy any deck and start your journey on the Lenormand. I will upload more videos. Part 2 will be uploaded soon, hopefully, with which will talk about cards 13 to hopefully 36. All right, so please like this video, share it with a friend or a person you know wants to learn Lenormand, or anybody who you think will find this interesting. Share it with that person. Subscribe to my channel so that I can make more such content. You guys have a lovely evening. If you want to check out the consultations I offer and the courses I offer, you can buy the Lenormand course, the recorded course from me, from my website. So go check out my website as well and have a lovely evening. Take care. Bye.